to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Prepare for a battle of the best of the AFC and the best of the NFC.
These players waited their whole life for this game, and it's finally here. Welcome to Super Bowl 60.
Since the Packers and Chiefs met down in Southern California in what would come to be known as the first Super Bowl. But now, at modern Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, we are counting down to Super Bowl 60, and we've got a great matchup in store. Tonight, it is all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy, as it'll be the AFC champion New England Patriots taking on the NFC champions. Brandon going along with Charles Davis, and what a season it's been for our AFC champions. And this was a fight just to get to the Super Bowl. You got to figure that they are very battle-tested and ready.
I'd agree with you 100% about that. You don't get there without having those types of attributes, and that's what you look for.
Say, can you see by the glow of our pride what's so bright we hold high in the street? When the sparks paint the sky.
Team. These guys can laugh for either one of those. Now they're here. Now they're ready to win.
Meanwhile, our NFC champions, they have gone through a lot to get where they are. Everybody knows their story this season. What's the key for them as they start this Super Bowl?
Let's go full cliche on this one because it works. Remember what got you here. Been a winning formula all season long. This is a team that when we saw them in the preseason, we said they look like a group that has what it takes to be a Super Bowl winning team. And we've been proven right by what we've seen throughout the season.
Jason Myers.
Their meeting in Super Bowl 49 was thrilling. What's in store here? The Pats and Seahawks are underway. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here come the Patriots now to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback.
And there are a lot of quarterbacks who had terrific careers. Think about guys like Phillip Rivers, Randall Cunningham, Dan Fouts, Warren Moon. But they never got to a Super Bowl. Yet here he is in his second NFL season, already getting his chance. We harken back to Dan Marino, another superstar, made it in his second year, lost the game, and never made it back again.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Now a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Henderson. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
He had to fight for every yard on that run. Shook himself free of a tackle and kept fighting, even with the rest of the defense closing in on him. That's the kind of effort you'll take every single time.
3rd play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Here's May. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
First down, New England.
A great job there, and that old cliche, take it what the defense gives you, comes right into play. Nothing too out of the ordinary about the throw, just a little dump off over the middle. But what is out of the ordinary is what he did with it after the catch. Not only did he grab the ball, but how about the significant yardage he picked up after he pulled it in. And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
From the 38 now, here's a 2nd and 5. May going to give it to Henderson. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Throwing here is May. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So on 4th down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. Back deep, Rashid Shaheed. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and 3rd pick in the 2018 draft.
As we begin the Super Bowl, we're looking at one of the game's most important players. And whether he's the centerpiece of the offense or taking a backseat to his teammates, offenses always look to the quarterback to be a leader in moments like this. He's got to be that calm, composed pillar out there who stays level-headed and keeps everyone focused on the task at hand.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Well, following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd down and 6. Off of play action, Darnold out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Darnold from the gun. He'll try and do this himself. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he's hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. The back deep for New England is Marcus Jones. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. And the Patriots take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. The drive begins with a run by Henderson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out by a few inches. That'll be a 1st down.
That's a very nice game there. Confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way you press the hole, absolutely perfect.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. A good chunk on the ground, and the keeper 17 yards, 1st down. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
To throw, it's May. A quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
2nd and 10. From the gun, it's May. And he couldn't square up to throw there, and it falls incomplete.
They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
And 10 yards to go.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To the air, May. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted. And the Seahawks will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
And that felt like a little extra pressure on that 3rd down attempt, and their mistake cost them points because they're inside the red zone. So you know you've got at least a field goal waiting for you. And in this case, they end up with nothing.
Seattle's offense coming back onto the field, ready for their 2nd drive. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
After the interception, here's Darnold. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll make it 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 19-yard line.
First carry here for Ken Walker. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Here's 3rd and 3. To throw is Darnold. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. Marcus Jones in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down. The defense, they brought the house. That O-line, they were overwhelmed.
To put it mildly, because they didn't have enough bodies to block all the guys that came at them. Their best move, how they would have been better served, just turn around and yell, "Look out!" because here they come.
Real quick, whole squad on that rail.
Here's Michael Dixon now to punt.
The Seahawks.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Looking to put a drive together. A carry by Henderson to start the drive. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Offense looks a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want. And other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
They'll throw with May. They set up the screen for Henderson. We've got a lot more ahead of us here in Super Bowl 60. 2nd quarter coming your way next. 0-0 our score. We'll return after this message. You're watching the NFL, and it's right here on EA Sports. Appreciate everyone joining us. Super Bowl 60 here tonight. Time to begin the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis up in the booth as we get set to resume play. Appreciate everyone joining us. Super Bowl 60 here tonight. Time to begin the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis up in the booth as we get set to resume play. The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
First down, Patriots.
And that's well executed there on third down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 63 yards rushing for him now in the first half of this Super Bowl.
And the Patriot first down.
What I continually hear from running backs and offensive linemen is how often they're actually getting together to watch film so they can get in sync with each other, understand blocking patterns better, how a running back likes to cut, what he wants to do. And boy, it all came together in that one.
That's one where they watch it and say, hey, we did everything we were supposed to do right there.
That looked like the play we drew up and designed, and then we got to see it unfold in real time. Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they can be set up with a 1st and goal.
A chance for the first score of this Super Bowl. Here's 1st and goal. Looking to throw. May. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 4. They'll check this down to Henderson out of the backfield. Touchdown! Trevion Henderson from 3 yards out. And the Patriots post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter. But CD, you know he's got great options at wide receiver, tight end, but there he looks to the backfield, and it results in a touchdown.
I love how you laid that out. So many options. You maybe forget about some of the ones that you should be covering. And they made them pay with that one, didn't they? You forget about the guys in the backfield, they're eligible too.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. Well, dangerous return man showing it here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. Hands it to Walker to begin the series. He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And some pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Walker now on first and 10. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last two possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Again, it's Walker. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. They'll run. This is Jordan Trelawney. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old-school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. This is Walker. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Kenneth Walker, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying this Super Bowl at 7. They go I formation, fullback leads the way for the touchdown. Sort of a lost art, isn't it?
It really is, but sometimes when you're able to bring it back and use it against other teams, they're not prepared for it. They haven't seen it in a while, and now you gain an advantage, and we just saw that advantage result in a touchdown.
Jason Myers now for the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. That time a 6-play drive. And it was Ken Walker finishing things off with a touchdown run. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Their quarterback in this offense heading back out to the field. He had the short touchdown pass on their previous drive, and they'll begin again here on 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's got Hooper on the short connection. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. At the middle, it's Henderson. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
They had 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
2 minutes on the clock in the 2nd quarter of this Super Bowl. It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's this complete to Butte. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Up the middle, here's Henderson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And now a pause. It looks like we have a Patriot injured on the play. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the shotgun, May with it. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Henry. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Fourth down, out comes Andres Borregales for the Patriot field goal. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. Oh, they get to the football, and it's blocked. Well, that's always a risk on those longer kicks. You have to drive it low to get it there. That opened the door for a better chance for the defense to get a hand on it, and that's just what we saw there.
And even if the odds increase a little bit because it's a longer field goal attempt, it's still difficult to get hands on the football and create a block. Big-time excitement for that unit, getting through and knocking that one away.
Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Darnold. Setting up the screen here. This is Walker. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
From the 50, it's Darnold. A repeat of the last play, finding Walker. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Back to throw, Darnold. Open man left side, Shaheed has it. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Second and a couple. Now it's Darnold. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. A Prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game, you know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
To the air again, Darnold. He'll try to pick it up himself. And Darnold going to slide to the ground here, but not before he does pick up the first down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
This one goes underneath to Walker. Now a signal and a timeout call, as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. Myers' kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, they'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. New England with a first down as they begin the drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. He's airing it out for Williams. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So 2 corners in the books here in Santa Clara, the Super Bowl 60 halftime. Get ready for the Super Bowl 60 halftime show.
Now back to the second half of Super Bowl 60.
With Scott Hanson.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hanson, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates.
Quarters, it's a tight Super Bowl matchup. Seattle leads New England 10-7 at the half.
Both teams will need to cut down on mistakes because this one feels like it's coming down to the very end.
And now we send you back for the second half of Super Bowl 60.
Teams as we come back for this second half. These 2 teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Seahawks offense set to go to begin this 3rd quarter. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased, doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season long has been finish. Get the job done. They know how close they are to lifting that trophy. One more solid half of football, and they can do exactly that.
3rd quarter begins with a run by Walker. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That's a really good gain right there. They pick up 5 yards halfway to a first down. The only problem now in the huddle, everyone's going to want to touch the football. Be a lot of chattering now because they've seen that they can move the line of scrimmage.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Sticking with Walker on 2nd down. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the past, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. They'll let this go deep for Smith and Jigba. It's caught inside the 25. And he gets this deep into Patriot territory. It's a big play there for Seattle. 48 yards.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
And you know, that's the right thing about me. Mama, I got what you need.
Well, that was a pretty good time for his first catch of the ball game, and it turned into a huge play as well. He's certainly not been a central part of this passing game so far in this one, but he made his presence felt there. A big pickup on 3rd down.
And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 79 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Darnold a sneak. And he'll be touchdown here, but not before he does pick up the first. 2 yards is the pickup, and the Seahawks are going to have a 1st and goal.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the 1st down.
As we say often, it shows confidence in your offensive line. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A good run of 6 yards there gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
That's good hard running right there on 1st and goal. That gets him down to the 2 and puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And they'll try the air now with Darnold. Touchdown, Seahawks! Eric Sauber, a 2-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Myers connects on the PAT, and his guys will take a 10-point lead.
Patriots 7.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he returns this to the 22. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Here's May. Short pass caught by Henry. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Off the play fake. Here's May. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
A gain on the play.
Give him the completion. No gain, but let's focus in on that tackle. Open field tackling, the hardest thing to do in the game, I believe.
But when you get outside the tackle box, it becomes a numbers game. The defense had more than they could block. Throwing here is May. Over the middle, complete. It's Henderson. Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And that'll bring up second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
He finds Douglas, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 23 yards the pickup there.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
On first down, it's Henderson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Ernest Jones there for the tackle.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun, and they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
To throw, it's May. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 24-yard line. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down.
Damn, I miss you, Chester. Sending love from my face before.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Got a man, Butte. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
To the air, May. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. Well, that's not how you hope to draw it up there on first and goal, CD, by taking a sack like that.
Well, they tried to be aggressive, didn't they? They didn't want to try and work their way past the goal line. They wanted it right there on that play. Unfortunately, it backfired against them. Now they have to try and pick it up here moving forward.
Up next, the biggest quarter of the entire season. At the end of that, we get to crown a champion. We are through 3 here in Super Bowl 60. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Only 1 quarter left here in Super Bowl 60 as we get set to begin the 4th. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Only 1 quarter left here in Super Bowl 60 as we get set to begin the 4th. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8. Third and goal, a big play in this Super Bowl. They'll drop the throw. And it's caught. Touchdown, Patriots. Keyshawn Butte, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Patriots have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Borregales now for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it a 17-14 game. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it's finished off by a Pats touchdown.
Y'all got to pump my taste. Y'all can't talk about basic. We mighty low power range. I'm also dangerous. Y'all talk outrageous.
Following the touchdown, Borregales back out to send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the tension ratcheting up all around. A 1-score game, 4th quarter of the Super Bowl. This is what you folks came for. Every play with the potential to win or lose a title as they look to drain some time off this clock. Looking to put a drive together. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
Darnold. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Okay, so he stepped foot out of bounds. Charles came back in first to touch it, and they got him for illegal touching.
Yeah, and you know it doesn't matter either, Brandon. Catch it, don't catch it. If you're the first to touch it, that's going to draw a flag.
Here's Darnold. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
You want to see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset? This is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
From the gun, it's Walker. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
They'll get this one to cut, complete. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Out of the gun, Walker with it. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 in second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
2nd and 6. Off of play action, Darnold. Smith and Jigba hauling it in on the out route. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
To the right side, this is Walker. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A very solid gain of 27.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Here's Walker. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Darnold down to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now the Patriots will use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. No one left in the backfield as they send a man left. He'll try and do this himself, and he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Sam Darnold, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks are starting to pull away in the 4th quarter of the Super Bowl.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. New England's offense set to go. And we're at the time of the Super Bowl where, look, they need points. And they need them badly. Trailing here in the fourth quarter as they begin this drive 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. From the shotgun, it's May. Short pass caught by Henry. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Over the middle, he finds Henderson, complete. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Looking to throw, May. And that is incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Who wants it more? This is 4th and a yard. Henderson going to run for it. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did, that they were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
One timeout at their disposal, but more pressing is the need for 2 scores, obviously. Here's 1st and 10.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. They'll throw with May. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Back to throw again. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. The Patriots will take their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Here's 1st down. Out of the gun, they give it to Stevenson. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Now 1st and goal. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown. But probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Problem for them, they needed that score with a little more time left on the clock. I think just too little too late now.
I would agree with that, and we're programmed never to say never. But in this case, we're asking a lot for them to even think they have a chance.
The extra point now for Borregales. It's up and good, and this now becomes a 24-21 ball game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it ends with a New England touchdown. So with just a few ticks left, they need a miracle. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. And the Seahawks are the class of the NFL. Seattle wins the Super Bowl. And to the Super Bowl champions, they etch their name forever in NFL immortality.
That's pretty phenomenal right there. It actually gave me chills just to hear you say that, because immortality forever and ever. When you look in the record books, you'll see this team, you'll see their picture, that your name will be a part of it. That's got to be an incredible feeling, because it's been a long journey to get there, and now they get a chance to enjoy it.
Baby, pop that card.
That's what I'm talking about.
Let's go. The rain's rolling. Hold it high.
Seattle, we love you.
Mr. President, honor to meet you, sir.
Congratulations, gentlemen. A season to remember.
Thank you. Means a lot.
4-21. Now let's send it down to the field with the Super Bowl MVP.
This is for Seattle.